Welcome back to For the Love of Men podcast. My name's Courtney Shand, and I'm hosting with my dear friend, Brianna Mosier.
Hello.
She is amazing, and for those of you that are new, the intention of the show is to bring together men and women to learn how to honor each other's natural masculine and feminine energetic cores so you can create healthy, polarized, romantic dynamics in dating.
Yes.
We have a really fun topic today I cannot wait to get to, but before we dive in, I want for you to know my friend Bri, because she's awesome, like I said, and I am following through on that. Bri, tell my friends why you're so awesome.
Thanks, Court. My My name is Bri. The work in the world that I do is I help mostly female entrepreneurs or really ambitious, driven women scale their businesses or excel in their career and attract in healthy, empowered, masculine partners. And I do it through helping them embody their feminine energy and really crack open to their pleasure and coming home to their body. So just like Courtney, my work is somatic based, which is super powerful in terms of serving clients. And that is my magic in the world. I help women make lots of money, help lots of people, have healthy love, have more orgasms, more pleasure.
I mean, really.
Save the world.
She does everything.
One day at a time.
What else do you need? Wow.
Not stuttering in the intro.
Wow.
That's what you need. Courtney, what do you do?
I am a relationship mentor, feminine energy mentor. I help women really embody their feminine energy using that masculine energy to create the boundaries that they need to kind of untangle their past from their present so that their previous relationship dynamics are no longer following them into the dating space now. It gives them a really powerful, authentic space of being themselves and being seen that they may not be used to. So I love helping women feel more present and secure as they are entering the dating phase.
So great. Genius.
Yes. Yep. I love it. Okay, so let's dive in because I'm just chomping at the bit and I will tell you more about what I do later, I'm sure. So let's dive in. We have a fun episode today.
So fun.
Per a request from a TikTok commenter. We see you. Thank you. We wanted to talk about the energetics of dating apps.
Yes.
Because as you know, energy is more important than words. The energy is what is being communicated. The words are just there as a placeholder. So if we can get the energy right, the words naturally flow, you show up authentically. So we really want to explain kind of how that works.
I love this. A lot of my work is in business coaching with women, and I was saying to Court before the show, setting up a dating profile is just like branding and marketing. You're selling yourself. And the best type of marketing that you can do in business or on the dating app is to be completely authentic so that you attract the right kind of clients and the right kind of, in this episode, women, right? If you're a man who dates women, or a man who dates men, the right kind of partners, right? So it's about being your authentically expressed self and communicating that in the limited amount of time and space that you have. You probably get I feel like most people make a decision in 2 seconds with the opening picture. Like the opening picture is key. And what does it communicate about you and how does it make that person feel? You don't have to overthink this, but it is giving a vibe immediately. And at least the women I know will swipe left this direction. If the first picture feels like, I wouldn't vibe with this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, I'm so glad you said that. So a lot of men get the feedback like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to say a lot of men. Some men have gotten the feedback that, no, I'm not interested. And we want to give you the energetics behind it so that you can set yourself up for the best possible connection points without manipulation or strategies. And it's going to feel a lot more authentic. So
yes,
let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
Yes.
Tell them about the energy.
Energetically, what I feel like is so important to get ground level is that clarity is hot. Clarity is hot. Why I say that is your page is your way of getting clear of who you are. This is the first impression that you're going to be giving to someone who's on a dating app that's assuming that they are looking for a connection of some kind. It's your job to get clear on who you are, what you're looking for on the dating app so that you can put that out there. That's the vibe that you're going to be creating. If you want casual, awesome, own it. If you want long-term, awesome, own it. If you're not sure, awesome, own it. Either way, your job is not to create this facade of, oh, I want to be in a long-term relationship while I'm still also doing this single thing, or vice versa. That's going to feel really incongruent, and she's going to feel that in her entire body. It's not going to sit right. She won't be able to tell what it is, but that's going to be an immediate swipe to the left.
Yep.
So the best thing you can do is to just own what you're doing on there, and get clear on it if you haven't really thought that through.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of our listeners are pretty aware individuals. They're pretty kind of intentional about that. But anything you want to add to that?
I just think if you show up on the dating app presenting like you want long-term, but you know deep down you want casual, it's going to blow up in your face one way or another. Like, she'll either feel it right there, the lack of integrity, or she'll go on dates with you and feel it, or she'll go on dates and it will get worse and worse for her internally, and then eventually she'll leave anyway. So it's like, what you want wants you also. What you want is available to you, right? So if you want casual, no shame in that. You'll never hear me shame that. Just own it. I'm just looking for something, just looking to have fun, casual. I'm not ready for a long-term relationship. There's also a woman who feels that way, and will see your profile and go, oh, great, perfect. Then I can be honest about what I want too. So I think Courtney's brilliant at this. Just own it. The way she said it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you were saying earlier before we got started of like, think about who you're wanting to attract. If you're wanting a long-term partner, you're going to want to be with someone who also wants to be in a long-term relationship. And as you're starting to formulate these thoughts, be thinking of someone who wants to be in a long-term relationship too. A, assume that it's out there. And B, what would they be wanting to know about you? Not like, what do I need to be presenting so that I'm pleasing or get swiped on, but like, what would they want to know about you? If you were wanting to be in a long-term partnership, I would want to know, what your lifestyle looks like, what you do on a day-to-day basis that fills your tank, that keeps you feeling like your best self. What's your kind of long-term purpose on the planet? Those are things that are really easy to communicate in a dating app. They might be like, longer conversations, but just to get the conversation started, that's going to really help you say like, okay, I need to start putting pictures of my day-to-day things that are hobbies and are tank fuelers for me. I'm a fitness person. I go to the gym. I like to run. I'm a hiker. I'm a biker. We know you fishermen. You guys are very vocal about being a fisherman. But whatever it is for you, am I right? No shame. Sorry, that was...
I swear to you, one of my favorite things about Courtney is the driest sense of humor. And she just sneaks it in there and you don't see it coming. She's referring to the fish pictures.
The fish pictures. I mean, it might be standard. I don't know. That might be like a requirement to be on a dating app. Either way, if that's something that really charges you up, great. But the difference, I would say,
I'm not into the fish pictures.
Right.
It's a no for me.
Right. And that's good, because if you want
fishing.
someone that you're going to be able to bring a fish home and cook it up or whatever, you want to not have someone that's going to be like, no. You want to know that early on.
You wouldn't want me.
You guys wouldn't be a match.
We're just not compatible.
Just going to reframe that. You guys wouldn't be a match. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, we're in the weeds. Bring us back.
I was literally just thinking.
Sorry, don't make jokes when I'm not expecting it.
There was a point to that.
Communicating your values and your lifestyle in the profile.
Yes.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, because this is going to help you understand which pictures to post, how to answer the questions. If you're going to post a fish picture, this is where I was going with this. If you're going to post a fish picture, that's kind of a tongue teaser.
Really, it is.
Tell me why that's important to you. Like, I don't care that that's a hobby of yours, but I would find more value in that photo if you were to say, I love going fishing with my guy friends. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and it just really brings me a lot of peace. Awesome. That helps me know, okay, this is someone who values being outside. Family and friends are important to him. I'm reading between the lines as you're saying these things. So be intentional about what you're communicating with this fish picture. Okay, end of fish pictures. I feel like I feel like there's some innuendo I'm missing every time I look at your face and you
No,
are like,
that's not an innuendo at all. It's just hilarious to me.
yeah.
It's just hilarious to
Well, I
me.
just remember it was a very common photo. So
It really was. And collectively among women, we were all quite puzzled.
it's
That's
like
why
the
it's
top
funny.
sheet, like just perplexing. Like,
Just put a dang top sheet on your bed. Put that on your profile. I use a top sheet. Awesome. I'd probably swipe the correct direction. Which way do you swipe? I haven't been on dating apps in a while, right?
me either. I think right is.
Just quickly consult the Google machine.
Yeah, I think it's right.
Swipe right. That means Mr. Right. So I have a top sheet on my bed. I know how to make a great plan. And what else would be a green flag? I'll make the decision about dinner. You don't have to tell me what you want.
Yeah, and even if I do fish, I'm not expecting you to cook that. I will cook it for you.
Now I'm interested in the fish picture.
Right? I'm just saying, a
You're
man
gonna
that
cook
can
the
provide
fish?
like that there's benefits to that. There's a reason that they are doing it. We just don't understand it.
The fish
so
is for
communicate
me.
that.
If the fish is for me, the fish picture has changed.
See, men, this is where the breakdown happens. For women, we're like, why are you posting this picture? And I think for men, they're like, I can provide this giant bass for you. Extra points if you tell me you cook for me. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, moving on. That's the energy. That is
Okay,
the vibe.
the point being, brilliant. Communicate your lifestyle and your values.
Yes.
And I would also say, if you have a child or children, put them in your pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a polarizing stance, but I would want to know if you had a child. And also for me, that's a green flag. I love it. I love it. I love a really great father. I'm impressed by that. So if I see you leading with your kids, awesome. Because if you want long-term relationships, she would fit in that picture. So you want to know, does this work for her or not immediately?
Yeah.
Anyway, you're really just filtering out who's for you and who's not. It's not about rejection or these people aren't choosing me. Truly, you end up with one person who's a good match. Why do you care how many people are like, oh, this doesn't work for me? Mm-hmm. And it's no good to have 100 girls swiping right on you, none of which are actually compatible because you created a dating profile that doesn't really reflect who you are. It's just an ego boost. So you have to kind of decide what's the objective. Am I wanting a long-term partner in compatibility? Am I wanting a lot of people to swipe right on me? Gosh, I'm always forgetting that.
Yeah.
That's two different profiles.
100%. I'm so glad that you said that. I think this kind of leads into keeping your boundaries about you.
Love it. Go on.
Yeah. I always tell my clients that your boundaries are meant to keep your heart open. What you need in order to keep your heart open. Men, the translation would be like, what do you need to feel like your best self? That's going to be the boundaries that need to be communicated. It needs to stay about you instead of about her. So for example, if you are needing someone that is going to fit into your active lifestyle, you want someone that is equally conscientious about their health, about their well-being, the way that they eat, their exercise routine. You want to say, instead of, I need someone that has a really good body because I work out a lot, you want to say, fitness is really important to me and I really value my health. Again, you're communicating your values and it's making it easier for her to see, do I fit? She's also asking, is this going to be a good fit for me? And the more information and more clarity you can provide for her, it's going to give her room to come towards you in a way that feels authentic and congruent for her without her having to shapeshift either. So if fitness is like a thing that you need in a partner, then instead of making it about her and how she looks, which can sometimes come across very wounded masculine and like, ooh, let it be about you. Make it about your values and what you need in a partnership to be the happiest, most authentic version of yourself. If that's health and fitness, great. If that's your fishing, awesome. Whatever that is, it needs to translate into how this impacts your day-to-day kind of energy and experience that you're wanting to create. That's going to help the right woman fit into that experience, knowing herself, doing it very intentionally instead of in a shape-shifty way.
So well said. It's really about communicating, even just answering the prompt of, I'd really love a partner who I can do X with. If that was a prompt, that would be wonderful. On Hinge was the last one I used. When I was dating, I would be looking on those profiles. If somebody said, I really want a partner who I can go to the gym with and then go get a burger, watch Netflix all night, and can also, go out and have a bougie meal and dress up, I would be like, I can do it.
Sign me up.
I can win here. I can win here, right? I'll be celebrated here. This is compatible for me. So that's letting me know, do I fit into your lifestyle?
Yeah.
And what you see with your partner. On the flip side, if someone was like, I really like someone who could go snowboarding and skiing with me and then play games all night on the Xbox or, I don't know, travel around the world every single week, I would be like, that's not going to work for my particular lifestyle. I know that seems sort of random, but those are things that I would go,
I've seen those though.
I'm just not in a travel phase right now. Like, I want to be where I am. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of putting a net out and seeing, forgive my crude definition, but what fishes like this? You know? What fish in the sea are interested in my net?
This has been a really fishy episode.
We weren't even that giggly before this.
I
Too
know.
many jokes.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that? That's brilliant.
I think we crushed it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so knowing that, now we've kind of got the energetics in place.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that everything else is going to be smooth sailing. Everything else is downstream. Yep, thought. Her job is to distract us with genius. So here we go.
I have to distract you because the most important thing is your energy will always supersede what you put on the app. How do I describe this? I feel like women might get this at first, maybe more than men will, but I think men are going to get it too. The way that you be and how you feel about yourself and your worth and what you bring to the table and your confidence, that is going to supersede the perfect app. If you gave Courtney and I your phone and a bunch of pictures and prompts and said, put together the perfect dating profile, we could do that for you. Mm-hmm. But if your energy isn't believing in your worth, what you bring to the table, knowing that you're an incredible man and a catch and that women are going to want you, feeling empowered about yourself, if your energy is more in the low self-worth, I hope someone picks me, or I demand someone picks me, like in the wounded space, no matter what your profile looks like, you will not attract what you're seeking because it's law of attraction 101, right? You get the energy that you put back. So you want to make sure that you're in a place of backing yourself and knowing what you have to bring to the table. That's going to be more important than anything you write down. You could say all the right things on your app, and let's say you get into a date, she's going to feel you still. Right? Mm-hmm. And also, the experience you have on the dating app, you also attract. So that's good feedback for you to look at, like, what kind of women are coming into my world? How are these conversations going? Am I experiencing a lot of, I don't want to say like yeses and nos, but your results do tell you the kind of energy that you're putting out into the world. Yeah. And it's the same in business. If you're having a bunch of low income months, right? The first thing I do with clients is like, how are we feeling? What's going on in here? Where's our energy? Where are our beliefs about ourselves, our business, our abilities? Because that's going to determine the success of the business. Same thing happens in your dating world.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because this is your zone of genius of explaining the energetics of marketing. I think if you haven't done any business courses with her, she's a brilliant business coach.
I love business coaching.
And relationship coaching. But there's a lot of synergy with that. But this is exactly
it's the same thing, really.
Yeah. This is what we were talking about earlier of staying positive. Mm-hmm. There were several profiles when I was on the dating apps that were like, oh, dating is the worst. Trying to find someone at this stage in life, which is fine. But I knowing what I know, am already saying he's coming from a wounded space. I'm not wanting to clean up that mess, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. If you're wanting to attract someone that has done some inner healing, that isn't bringing a ton of baggage, you want to speak to that person too. In the same way that my profile was speaking to a very empowered masculine man, someone who has done their work, someone who is able to be the leader in that way. And I'm not saying that I need to be rescued or that I'm not communicating that about myself because I don't have that belief happening in myself anymore. I know I've cleaned up my stuff. Who wouldn't want to date me? I would want to date me.
Right.
Not in an arrogant way, but in a solid, of course, there's no surprise here that I'm going to have positive feedback and a positive experience with this. If you're saying you're having a bad experience, we were just talking earlier, it would be kind of like, well, I don't want to get tangled up with that.
I don't want to be a part of your bad experience.
Right.
Misery does not love company, and I don't want to be the company in your misery.
I
want to have fun.
Yeah.
What you saying that is telling me is you're not having fun dating, and I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah, so little things like that. Once you clean up the energetics, you get behind what you're wanting, who you are, what you bring to the table. The next pieces are going to just fall in place.
You know, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
It would translate to men the same way as when you go on a woman's profile and she makes comments about men, like just trying to find the last good man left, or trying to find a man who's honest, or all men play me, but I'm hoping my cards change this time. Like that kind of like
I'm so glad you said that.
misandry, right? This distaste for men showing up in the profile would be unattractive to you as men. And women, when we read your profiles and you're saying like dating is super hard out here, can't find a good woman, it's not misogynistic, but it's certainly not a turn on.
Yeah.
And it feels actually quite in my body, it feels like quite shameful. You know, like, are you shaming women as a collective because you haven't had the dating experience you want? I'm kind of parsing it out. Maybe I'll change my mind, but it doesn't feel positive. I want to know, am I going to have fun with you? Are we going to have a good time? Are we going to connect? That's what I'm seeking. I don't want to know about, as an opening line, if you're casting a net, I wouldn't make that net, dating is really hard and I'm trying to find someone in this hard time in life. I don't think that's a net most women are going to want to. Sorry, it's the hard truth, though.
Not an empowered woman. It will definitely draw a wounded woman. It's going to create a dynamic where you're getting fixed.
Right.
You're that naggy woman that you may have had experience with in the past that needs to mother you. It's going to pull on that part of any woman. If she's not aware of it, it's going to pull on that part of her, and that's the dynamic you're going to set up with that type of seeking empathy for your situation. So be empowered about it. If you have, gone on multiple dates. I dated men that had been dating for a while, and the way that they reframed it that felt actually much cleaner was that they are, looking for their person. They have pretty tight parameters of what they know about themselves is going to be a good fit for them. And they're just here having fun and enjoying getting to know people. And to me, that's what I tell my clients too, is your job is just to have fun and get to know someone and see if they're a good fit. In the meantime, you don't have to get so attached to this connection that you're building, because that's going to stifle the connection. You want it to naturally just unfold.
Thank you for reframing that.
Yeah.
You took that sort of hard truth and made it into an empowering shift, which you are a genius at.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
And that would be, by the way, that prompt she just said of like, I'm looking for my long-term partner, my person. I have tight parameters around this. In the meantime, I'm just, having fun getting to know people. That would be very attractive to me. And also the tight parameters part. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why that feels good.
Yes.
Because this keeps people out of the nice guy category.
Go there.
Keeps people out of the nice guy category is boundaries and being clear about what you want. So sharing what you value in a partner, again, it's like, I really value emotional intelligence, women who are independent, who, know what makes them happy. I really value, I really love having great conversation. Like all those things show me you know what you're looking for. That's really attractive.
Yeah, I love that. Because it also kind of relieves pressure. It relieves the pressure of like, am I going to be a good fit? Really, like you always say, you only need one. So
you only need one.
If you're willing to back your parameters, your boundaries, then keep going. There's no saying that you're not allowed to have those boundaries, that you need X, Y, and Z to be happy. That's fair.
There's nothing to apologize about having those boundaries. I think, should we get into some practicals?
Yeah. I keep trying to like segue there, and you're like, nope, we're staying here, which is great.
Swimming,
which is
another fish reference.
Which is great, because I think this has been so meaty. I'm so glad you went there. But yes, I'm ready to go.
Let's get into some practicals. So number one, your dating profile, you get, I don't know what you get now, like 4 prompts and 4 pictures or something. That's not a lot of space. So think about it like you are selling yourself. You have to use every photo and every prompt in a way that serves communicating who you are and what you want, what you're seeking. And we've kind of touched on this in the energy, but every photo matters. The first photo, personally, I think, should be very clear. Just you, not your friends.
Oh, gee.
If I don't know if it's you or your friends and it's 12 and I'm swiping, I'm going to goodbye.
Yeah.
Mentally, I just don't have the capacity.
Make it easy for me.
And it's probably the same for women when we do the women's episode too, but make it clear of your face or your body if you want to, but just you, so we can see enough to keep on going, right? And then if you're seeking long-term partnership or finding your person, make sure that you're choosing questions and answering them with thoughtfulness and meatiness. Please don't answer the prompt, what's something you're competitive about, with the word everything. That tells me nothing about who you are. And again, it's another one of those things that as women, like, we get quite puzzled about when we're on dating apps and we're like, here's another one. What are you competitive about? Everything. It's like, this tells me nothing about who you are, what your values are, what your lifestyle is. We're going to keep reiterating this because this is what matters the most in your profile. I want to see you, sell you to me. Doesn't mean paint you in a way that you aren't. It means show me authentically who you are and back yourself. So choose prompts that can really show who you are, what you like to do.
And use them.
Yes. And just be honest about yourself. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Because you want to call in aligned people, you have to show up without the mask on.
Yeah, yeah. And this is where that reframe that we mentioned earlier of like, who are you wanting to attract? Imagine she's sitting across from you and you're reading this answer to her. Like, what are you competitive about? What would she want to know about you being competitive? It's not everything. That's like I heard from a lot of men when I was dating, tacos, like, everyone's profile is like, I love tacos and margs.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, well, okay, cool.
Well, I do love tacos and margs.
Right. But this is valuable real estate. It's the same thing. We want to kind of expand on, like, what would she need to know about your competitive nature? Like, that would be endearing. What would make that endearing to be around? What would make that fun and playful about you? What does that mean about your drive and ambition? Reframe it so that it's empowering and supports a bigger picture, more 360 view of you than just being competitive. That's awesome. You've got tons of masculine energy. Great. And how is that actually showing up in real life?
Because I strive to be my best and I know that I can always push myself. Suddenly an attractive answer.
Genius. Yeah.
Right. Or with tacos and margs, instead of her saying that, could she be like, my ideal Saturday is waking up late, going to the farmer's market, grabbing tacos and margs, walking the dog, listening to live music. Like, that tells me all about, that would tell me all about her lifestyle or his lifestyle.
The experience that I can create for her, that is helpful tacos and margs information versus tacos and margs.
Get thoughtful and creative and expressive.
Yes, and I guarantee that alone, this gives me chills, that alone is going to increase your connectivity rate just for that reason.
You know something else that always impressed me? This might be anecdotal.
Yeah, go for it.
As someone who coaches and loves self-development and the work that Courtney and I do, I value someone else being invested in their own personal development, but also in how to have a healthy relationship. You know, because loving somebody and knowing how to love them are two separate things. Yeah. Wanting a partner and knowing how to be a good partner is a different thing. Ooh, so, right? So when men would put in their profile, like, what their love languages were, it was funny when they would say something like tacos, right? I'd be like, okay, that's funny, but, like, what's actually your love language? Do you know that about yourself? Because if you do, I'm more turned on. So when they would put quality time and physical touch, but affirmations are sneaking up there, I would be like, this is a man who's aware of the way that he gives and receives love. And if I'm someone seeking long-term partnership, I want this, right? Or, you know, if you take any of the personality tests, again, this might not apply to everyone's, could just be me, but it shows that you know who you are. So if you share that you're an Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 8, or you know, your sign, you could make a silly joke about that, but it tells us about who you are. And I think those can be little fun ways. Also, conversation pieces. If those are values to you, love language, Enneagram, you know, horoscope, whatever, it's easy to connect over those things. It's an easy in, and it tells us who you are.
Yep. And for someone who is also into that, they're going to hear that.
Yes.
If you want to be very generous, you can say, like, because I'm an 8, I love to be competitive, and it really just charges me up to get in the, you know, in the thick of things with board members, and I don't know. translate it for us, because that is a very generous way to use that real estate in your prompts.
And your values. Know what your really strong values are, what your non-negotiables are. If you're seeking long-term if you're seeking casual, you don't have to take this advice to the fullest. But if you're seeking partnership, for me, I know that I want to be aligned in spirituality, and that I value, when somebody really knows their purpose work, and someone who values sexuality and pleasure and being in their body in partnership. Those are like 3 big things where I just know it would be a non-start. And so it helps me to see in a man's profile that he shares that he's spiritual, or he's religious, or he's Christian, or he's Catholic, because I know what would work for me and what wouldn't. I don't want to be in your DMs wasting your time if we then find out that one of my non-negotiables is, we're not aligned spiritually, right? Or
Great point.
I am an entrepreneur. I have a lot of freedom in my lifestyle. I value a partner who also has freedom in their lifestyle. So I want to see that. If I see that you're an entrepreneur, huge green flag. If I see that you work, a corporate career, I might go, this may or may not be a fit for me, but I'm glad to know this information up front so I can self-select in or out. So know what your values are, I would say the big 3, right? And then communicate those. If politics is a hard yes or no for you, put that on your profile, what you stand for. If religion or spirituality is one, if you have a kid and that's obviously a hard yes or no, put those things out there, because you will filter out the people who are not for you so much faster. I think a lot of times people try to form this version of themselves that would be the most appealing, and if you learn nothing else from this episode, that's not going to bring you the end result that you're actually seeking.
Yeah. You're already appealing. We just have to communicate that.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Anything else around that for you?
Just
using prompts and photos.
No. Yeah, I think communicating your values. Every time you're talking, I'm so absorbed in what you're saying, but also these thoughts are coming and I'm pin that for later, and they're gone. So, no, I think that's great. And I do think also that the honesty also comes down to, because this, full circle here, this comment was based on one that we talked about, height. Does height matter? In our experience, it does not. When you're in person, you can feel the energy of someone long before you're going to care about the height of that person. But I will say that if you are honest about your height, it is actually a real green flag. It's part of owning who you are, this body. And we talk about this with women all the time, own the body that you have, own the lifestyle that you're wanting to create with this body in mind. So pictures need to line up with what you actually look like. Being honest about how tall you are. If that's non-negotiable for some people, great. What we have found is that it actually does feel very different in person to be around someone than we thought. So know that your energy is going to precede you, and don't hide that information out of fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I really just feel like our main takeaway is don't hide anything out of fear. You want to just show up and be who you are and be grounded into your worth. That's going to bring in someone who reflects that. Share your height 100%. And as Courtney and I were both recovering, we only date tall people because we're both 5'9".
And that's what we grew up hearing.
And the universe was like, Brie, we're going to tell you that this is not actually accurate or a thing at all. And I've dated men that are shorter than me, and their energy was so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I literally didn't even think about the height difference. Yeah. I was just like, I am so drawn by you. Yeah. This is what matters to me. The bigness of your energy, the stability of your energy, the, I don't even know how to say. It's just I think you might have said this, their energy comes out of their body. So that is.
Yep. Ooh, and that is what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. Sorry, where I was going with that is what we will feel in the app if you don't hide that. If you're I'm 5'8", I'm 5'5", whatever, we won't feel that big energy. It's going to shrink. This is what we teach women. Your energy will shrink on the things that you're ashamed of. So the more you're hiding it, the more small you're going to feel to be around. Versus if you're yeah, I'm 5'5". Awesome. Let's go. I'm 5'9", you're 5'5". Let's go. That feeling is going to be very different than she's not going to be interested in me because I'm 5'5", or, you know, what, I'm just throwing out an arbitrary number. There is a very big difference between just owning it and getting behind it, kind of backing yourself. Takes a ton of masculine energy, and any woman is going to feel that masculine energy in her body, and it's going to soften her in her presence.
100%. The other thing that was coming to me as you were speaking was, when you're answering the prompts, say them in your personality and your voice. Like when I was on the dating apps, I remember I had one prompt that was, I don't know, it was like the way to win me over. I said something like, if you like to dig deep into entrepreneurship or spirituality, ... or a pint of Ben and Jerry's, which is very typical of how I would speak if you knew me and we were friends, right? I would make jokes and be bubbly and at the same time, like, I don't know, have the depth. So if you can communicate it in a way that you would normally say it, she's going to feel your energy even more versus like a calculated, formulated response. If you're a playful person, be playful in your responses. If you're a serious person, be serious in your responses. If you're a mix, be a mix. You just want that page to reflect accurately you. That's all we're trying to do. And then backing yourself with confidence.
Yeah. I love that.
Any other
good.
practical things that you would share about a dating app and how to kind of bring in the right partners for men?
Well, as we're talking about this, I just feel like this is so important for men to understand because women are so energetically sensitive. She's going to feel you long before we read your profile. That's just going to be keeping us hooked longer. Like, ooh, I like this energy. I want to stay in this energy. I'm going to keep reading.
It's the energy.
Because it is an energy. And so I do find that women tend to be a little bit, the feminine, I'll just say the feminine. The feminine energy partner is the intuitive, sensing partner. Men have this too. You can tell, you can feel it as well. But I think it's most important for the masculine partner to understand the energetics, because there is a way of communicating with someone who is mostly intuitively led and energetically led that will be very different than communicating with someone who's also in their masculine energy. So if you're wanting more of a feminine energy partner, this is going to be of service to you, because you're going to be speaking her language, and she's going to be like, ooh, I'm safe over here. They speak my language. It's going to be very easy for me to just fit in this group.
She won't have to work so hard to discern.
Yeah.
Which is a green flag in itself. That's a great point, Court, because I've seen some profiles where I'll be physically attractive and, like, let's say the big 3 are listed, but they don't really thoughtfully answer the prompts. And I'll be like, okay, we can chat, but there's a voice in my head that goes, it's going to be a lot of mental work to figure out and get this person talking. Yeah, I want to know that conversation will be easy. So conversation starters, too. Obviously, communicating who you are is going to be a conversation starter, but making it easy in for her to start the conversation.
Yeah.
One last, sorry, were you going to say something?
Yes, but I can hold it. I'll focus. Okay. Because that's going to translate to the date. That's where I was going to go with that. Because the men who I have found, this is again anecdotal from me, but the profiles that I saw that were more like communicative and spoke a language that resonated with me based on their years of dating. You know, like these men who had beefier profiles, as I found out when I was on a date with them, had been dating for a little longer, and they were refining their profile based on each of the interactions. Like, ooh, I didn't like that. I'm not going to call in another person who doesn't jive, you know, spiritually or work-wise, who's not going to fit my lifestyle. You're just constantly, like, tweaking this and refining it. But the more beefy and energetically pumped up your profile is, that typically translated to the dates themselves feeling easier. The ones that I did choose to go on, it was easy. The conversation was easy. No one wants to go to a first date. Men, I know you don't want to go on a first date where it's awkward and you're both looking at each other like,
you're both working.
Hi.
Yeah.
How do I move this conversation?
Right.
So let it be easy and do that work on the front end. Okay.
Yeah, all I was going to say is use the voice note feature.
Ooh, yeah.
I saw this was a new thing recently. I've never used it before, but I have friends who date, so sometimes I look at their profiles and do a little swiping for them. And the voice note feature I love. Personally, for me, voices are really, like, big. It's a turn on of mine. So hearing their voice is awesome, but also the energy behind it. Voices communicate the energy in your body. That's physical vibration, right? So if you can do a voice note, you're letting her into your world so much more. Also use videos instead of photos. This might apply more to women, but I used to have a photo of me that was like a video laughing. It got so much attention because it was movement. You could feel my energy and essence. And again, it was like part of communicating who I am. You want to create as much as possible this 3D view of you. Yeah. So voice notes, videos, written stuff, that makes you not a 2D profile, but a 3-dimensional human being that I could meet in person and have a lot in common with. Yeah.
I just wanted to offer one more suggestion based on refining it as you go, because this will take some time. And to think about like building a profile now would be a lot faster for me because I know exactly what I'm looking for. But to start with, it was like, I like tacos and margs. Okay. You know, so like maybe you're starting at the fish picture or the tacos and margs state, but I would encourage you to check in, set a reminder with yourself, like every 2 or 3 dates, like what did I like about that person? What did they bring out of me that I want more of in my life? And write that, put that in text somehow or communicate that in a photo and keep refining this. It's going to keep funneling the right people towards you, and that's going to be the most effective. And I'm all about effectiveness more than efficiency sometimes.
I love that.
Yeah, because we really do. I mean, we don't want to waste valuable time. We also don't want to waste valuable real estate on our dating profile. So the more that you can be intentional about it when you're in that mood, when you're in the vibe, make the profile.
Oh, yeah.
When you're feeling happy, when you're feeling like that was an awesome date, go on the profile and just write down what you liked about it. You don't have to, like, you may stick with that girl and you may be like, I don't want to attract anyone else. Great. And you need to capture that somehow. Make a note section. That vibe, that energy is what you're going to get the juiciest output from.
I like the way that you frame that as a strategy almost. I think that men are going to find that really useful.
I think,
like a system to track. So good.
Yeah.
So good. I feel like we've covered it, no?
Nailed it.
Top. Crushed it.
Boom.
If you'd like to send us your dating profiles, we'd love to help you with them.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And we're not sure if we want to do them, like maybe it's TikTok reviews or if we want to do it as a paid offering. We haven't really decided.
Yeah.
But
this is exclusive to you guys, our listeners right now. We're just putting it out there for right now.
Yeah. We're just playing with the idea. Don't hold us to it. But send it to us. DM it to us.
Yep.
And we might have fun one night.
You know what we could do? August monthly call is dating app review.
Ooh.
Every quarter we're going to do a monthly call that's a dating app review. That would be really the perfect spot to do that.
So you could just come with it.
You can come with it. You can talk with other people. You can see, because girls probably talk about their dating apps more than guys do. I don't know. But learning different language from other people's profiles. Ooh, I liked that. That makes sense. I want to say that. Hearing other people's communication style helps give us words to communicate what we don't know how to say.
Yeah, I've also had I've had a few a podcast listener reach out recently who asked if we did mixers for our listeners. I don't think I told you this.
You didn't.
He was like, do you ever get together people who listen to your show so that they can meet each other? And I was like, that's a genius idea. The bigger the show gets. Can you imagine? Because then you'd be with people who value feminine, masculine polarity, personal development, working on themselves. You know, you could have this a lot of boxes are checked immediately.
Yes.
With our listeners. So we could think about that too. But if you come to the monthly coaching call, you'll meet those people anyway.
Ooh, trust by association.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of August, the last Thursday in August, 6 p.m. Central, Courtney and I offer a monthly coaching call to support you. So you can give us context and details around what's going on in your dating, relationship, family, whatever, that you'd like support around. And you get both of our eyes and hearts on helping you shift and giving you tools and coaching you through it. So if you want clarity, you want support, this is a great place to go. We're going to eventually make them $200 a session, but it's $99. It's a group session. We teach on Zoom so we can see your face and coach you in person. And it's a great way to get your feet wet, especially if you're going, I might want to work with one of these girls and I don't know what that would look like. Come hang out with us. Yeah. Bring your dating profile if you want.
Yes.
And we'll help you. We'd love to do that.
I love writing dating profiles. Yeah.
We have a call in September as well. So if August doesn't work for you, the last Thursday of September, there'll be a link in the show notes for both, so you can start enrolling. And there's only 20 seats for each call.
Yeah.
So book them both if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Wow,
Cool.
that gives me chills. Ooh, I'm excited to do a profile review in a monthly call. That would be like,
Really fun.
that would really excite me.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Courtney,
Yeah.
the people want to know how to work with just the genius that is Courtney Shand.
Wow.
Where can they... I'm trying to think of a joke and it's not coming. I was going to say, rub the genie's lamp, but it was getting in the weeds really fast. So, Courtney, where can people find you?
Yeah. All of my work is on... You did great. Thank you for setting me up. All of my work is on my website, CourtneyShand.com. You can opt to work with me if this is helpful for you. I have a men's program called Rooted, and it really is about getting clear on your values, your boundaries, how to clean up some of the wounds that you have acquired in dating. I have a whole module on that, and understanding what to look for in an empowered feminine energy partner. What would identify, and we can even parse that out in a dating profile situation. What would identify a wounded feminine person versus an empowered feminine person, and how to hear the difference so that you can start to calibrate to that. Ladies, I have a alternate program where I did dating app reviews, and it was so fun too. But yeah, that would be where I would check out. It's on my website, CourtneyShand.com, Courtney_Shand on all the platforms. And yeah.
Genius.
Yes.
And it's all in the show notes.
Yeah.
So you can go apply.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
any
yeah.
offers.
Yeah. And you?
And me.
You have shown so much genius in lots of different areas today, so don't know what you want to offer.
I know I have so many things going on. My favorite thing is that in September, I've been writing a program called the Pleasure Path for Women and helping them understand anatomy, pleasure circuits, circulating their pleasure, turn-ons, turn-offs, brakes, accelerators, all these things, different breathing exercises. So if you're a woman wanting to expand your pleasure and come home into your body, unfortunately, men, this one is only for women, and really own your sensuality and sexuality. That will be a course I'm teaching in September. You can pre-enroll. Just shoot me an email or a message. You can go on my website and get in contact with me there. And then I'm also doing one-off sessions for men if you're wanting a one-time coaching session, 1-to-1. So you can message me about that, or 5-month coaching programs as well if you're wanting to really deep dive into let's freaking go. I want to transform and up level. We've got that as well, mostly for women, my long-term containers. So that's what I've got going on. Everything's in the show notes. And if you haven't already, join our newsletter. I forgot to say that. Sign up for our email list.
Yeah. We love hearing your comments on TikTok, on all the platforms, and we will be highlighting which ones we find most empowering. And yeah, we want to celebrate you in the ways that you're showing up. So
yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I wanted to say, may the force be with you. I'm really glad I didn't. So glad we dodged that bullet. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.